Welcome student to our English class standard 7. Today we will begin with our chapter 2.2 The Souvenir part 3 written by Lakshman Londe. We learned about space and also about the atmosphere on the moon in our part 1 and part 2. Summary of our lesson 2.2 The Souvenir part 1 and part 2. The chapter The Souvenir is about a girl's 3-day trip to the moon. It has been translated from the story made by Lakshman Londe. The writer has imagined that in the future the journey between Earth and the moon will become easier and be the longest possible travel. The story follows a girl named Sally who had been sent on the trip by her mother on the moon. There were dome-shaped human settlements where the gravitational force equivalent to that of the earth was artificially maintained. Once they landed, Sally and the other kids were instructed to be careful while they roamed around, to keep in mind the difference of the gravitational force between the earth and the moon, and to buy gifts only from the shop inside the settlements. On the first day of the trip, Sally observed the sky and the earth. So let's see what are there in other part of our story in our next slide. The second day attraction was the circus on the moon. One unique feature of the circus was the seating arrangement. The spectators were made to sit in the tent and the circus was going on outside. High jumps and long jumps were the special attractions. One gymnast jumped 27 meters high. Newards, spectators, those who watch some activity or events. Audience, tent, a portable shelter made of cloth. Gymnast, a person trained to perform exercise that display physical flexibility. Explanation of this paragraph. The main attraction was the arrangement for sitting. The circus was going on outside, while the spectators were sitting in the tent. Gymnastics was the main attraction, and one gymnast jumped 27 meters high. On both the days, beside the main attraction, much time was reserved for visiting the various settlements there. It was accepted that the students should spend some time for self-study. The teacher had assigned them the task of writing an essay on how they spent their time on the moon, which places they visited, what they observed, etc. Sally and her friends had travelled far and wide and had done a lot of sightseeing. New words. Sightseeing means location, the act of visiting place of interest at a particular location. Explanation of this paragraph. Now, teachers expect the students to spend time for self study. So, she asks them to write an essay how they spend their time and also the different things they observe. Sally and her friends had done a lot of observation. On the third day, the teacher took them to a place of historical importance. A hundred years ago, Neil Armstrong had landed at this place. Everyone was looking forward to this visit to the historical monument. It was the oldest place in the history of man on the moon. New words. Monument, a statue, building. Let's see the explanation of this para. On third day, teacher took all of them to a historical place. Also it was important because 100 years before the first astronaut from America, Neil Armstrong, had been visited there and his name too mentioned in the history of man on the moon. The first footprint of Neil Armstrong was preserved on the moon land. Beside the footprint was a grand statue of Armstrong. At the base of the statue were carved the first words uttered by a human on the moon. One small step for a man, one giant leap of mankind. New words uttered, said. Mankind are human beings considered collectively the human race. Preserved, maintain something in its original state. Explanation of this paragraph. Seeing the footprint of Neil Armstrong, beside it was a grand statue of Neil Armstrong. At the base of it was carved that though it is just a small step of a man, but it a giant leap of mankind. The next attraction for the children was that they were going to wear the space suits for the first time. Then they were going to roam outside experiencing the gravitational force of the moon. Explanation. The next attraction was the excitement of the student as they were wearing the space suit for the first time and they were going to roam without the gravitational force. Be careful when you walk, dear children. Don't run or sprint. You will fall. The teacher was warning repeatedly. But who was in the mood to listen? They hopped, jumped, and ran around. New words. Warning, a statement or event that warns of something. Explanation. The teacher asks them to be careful again and again, but no one was in the mood to listen her. Buy ornaments, especially made from the stones on the moon. Very cheap, cheaper than those available in the shops in the settlement. Cheaper and better. At least have a look. The roadside shopkeepers screamed at the top of their voice. Buy, sister, buy. I am selling this earring really cheap. Saying this, he approached shyly and displayed the sets of shining stones earrings. Suddenly remembered her mother. Tomorrow they were to start on their return journey. She had completely forgotten her mother in the last 3 days. She felt terribly guilty. Explanation: the roadside shopkeepers were screaming loudly to persuade the children to buy ornaments made from stone and moon design. On seeing the shining earring, Sally suddenly remembered her mother. She felt guilty and sorry that she had completely forgotten her mother for last 3 days. Buy these sister, don't think much. Cheaper and better. Take it. Sally looked around. The other children had proceeded ahead. Come on, give me those red earrings quick. Sally pointed at them and asked, what's the price? Only 1,000 rupees, replied the salesman. Sally immediately paid the amount, took the earrings, and ran to catch up with her friends. Newer, cheaper, low in price. Explanation: Sally bought the earring for 1,000 rupees and ran to catch up with her friends because they already proceed forward. On returning home, Sally told her mother very enthusiastically, Mummy, look what I have brought for you. Her mother picked up the earrings. She exclaimed, Hello, dear. How am I going to wear heavy earrings? Sally immediately realized her mistake. Sally had purchased the earrings in the field of the moon's gravity. Translated from the story VII by Lakshman Londe. New words: gravity, the force that attracts a body towards the center of the earth, enthusiastically, in a way that shows intense and enjoyment, interest, or approval. Explanation: on returning, Sally happily showed the earrings to her mother, but on seeing her mother told, How can she wear such a heavy earrings? Then Sally realized her mistake, that the earring she bought was in the field of moon's gravity and not the earth. Evolution. Fill in the blanks. One small step for a man, one dash of mankind. Answer is giant leap. Second, Sally immediately dash her mistake. Answer is realized. Third, Sally felt dash guilty. Answer is terrible. Now, say whether the following statements are true or false. First, on the third day, the teacher took the student to a historical place? Answer is true. Second, Siley made a hasty purchase. Answer is true. Third, Siley did not understand the mistake she had made. Answer is false. Answer in one sentence. What happens on second day on the moon? On second day, there was a circus on the moon. Second, how did gymnast jump? Answer is gymnast jumped 27-meter high. Third, which essay was given by the teacher? Answer is the essay was given by teacher how they spent their time on the moon. Fourth, whose footprint was preserved on the moon? Answer is Neil Armstrong's footprint was preserved on the moon. What was carved near Armstrong's statue? Answer is one small step for a man, one giant leap of mankind was carved near Armstrong's statue. Next, what was Siley's mistake? Answer is she bought a earring for her mother which was in the field of moon gravity. Answer in brief. What could be the reason behind the unique seating arrangement? Answer is in the unique seating arrangement, the spectators were made to sit inside the tent while the circus was going on outside. The gravitational force equal to that of the earth was maintained in the tent. High jump of nearly 27 meters and long jumps which were the major attraction of the circus would have been possible with this artificial gravitational force. Next, was Siley making a mistake when she bought earring? Yes, Siley was making a mistake when she bought the earring. Next, what instructions had she ignored? Answer is Siley ignored the instruction that students should not buy anything from the unauthorized shop outside the human settlements on the moon. Next, why had the earrings become so heavy on the earth? Answer is the earrings had become so heavy on the earth because they were purchased in the field of the moon's gravity. Scientifically, the weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 of that on the earth. Grammar. Give the meaning of the following words repeatedly. Answer is again and again. Enthusiastically. Answer is with great interest. Give noun used for the circus on the moon. Answer is gymnast, spectators, sitting arrangement. Thank you, student,